Hi, we are going to talk about the topic of average speed and a few common confusions that happen often. So let's begin by talking about what is average. You would have heard other terms like mean. Mean is also like average. So average of two values. Taking an example, if I had 4 mangoes yesterday and I had 2 mangoes today, what is the average number of mangoes I had? Some of you might be directly able to say 3, which is like in the middle of 4 and 2. Or if you are more of a maths person, you would say, oh, 4 plus 2, which is 6, divided by 2, 3, right? So that is average of two values. So if we move to average speed, let's find out if the same logic will be applicable. So the first case we are going to see is that of average speed over two equal time intervals. So let's take an example. So let's say that I am in a car and I travel for 1 hour and I covered that distance at a speed of 40 km per hour. So this is 1 hour. But then something happened to me and I said I'm going to go faster, and for the next 1 hour I went at a speed of 60 km per hour. Now if I am asked to find out the average speed in this case, what will be the average speed? Can I go with the same logic that 40 plus 60 divided by 2, or the mean of 40 and 60, which would be 50? That might be the right answer. But if you really recall, the formula of average speed is total distance divided by total time. So why not apply the formula and really see if our answer of 50 km per hour is correct or not. Now if average speed, so I am saying V, AVG stands for average, the subscript is total distance upon total time. Now the total time is very clear, 1 hour for the first interval, 1 hour for the next interval, so it is 2 hours, so the denominator is 2 hours. Now if you look at the numerator, the total distance, so if you are going for 1 hour at a speed of 40 km per hour, how much distance do you cover? It's very obvious, 40 km per hour, it means 40 kilometers in 1 hour, or the other formula is distance is speed into time. So this is 40 into 1, which is 40 kilometers. So you cover 40 kilometers in this case, let's call it D1, and you cover D2, 60 into 1, which is 60 kilometers. So the total distance then is 40 plus 60, 100 kilometers by 2 hours, which is 50 km per hour. So we were actually right. But how is that I used a different formula here but I got the same answer? To understand this, we can actually write this basic formula in a simpler form. So when I found out D1, I in a way did V1 multiplied by small t. Now let's say the small t is 1 hour. It is the same because that is the case we are doing over two equal time intervals. So it takes small t for the first interval, small t for the next interval. When we found out D2, we said it is V2 multiplied by t. So our total distance was D1 plus D2. So it became D1 plus D2 divided by T1 plus T2. Right? Now T1 and T2 are equal, which is T. So it becomes D1 plus D2 divided by T plus T, which is 2T. Now what is D1? D1 is V1 into T and D2 is V2 into T divided by 2T. Yeah. And now if you take T as, so T is common, V1 plus V2 divided by 2T. So T and T cancel out and you get this simplified formula, which means for the case when you have to find out average speed over two equal time intervals, then your formula of total distance upon total time simplifies to v1 plus v2 by 2. Now I think when we look at the next case, we'll be able to really understand which formula when to use. Okay, so next case is average speed over two equal distances. Okay, now let's just use almost the similar scenario, similar values, and let's just take the two equal distances to be 60 kilometers. So I'm going to scroll this a little bit, and so we have a car here. Oh, this doesn't look like a car. It seems to be going the other way, but anyways, it's going this way. And the two equal intervals are 60 kilometer per hour. Oh, sorry, 60 kilometers. Two equal distances we are talking about here. In the first one, it went, let's say we take the same values so that we are easily able to compare 40 kilometer per hour here and 60 kilometer per hour here. So in this case, would you still say the answer would be 50? It's a slightly different situation, but still for half the distance it is going at 40, for the next half it is going at 60. One might say it should be 50, but to really check, we should only use the basic formula, the formula we can trust completely. So now the good news is the total distance is already given, 60 plus 60, but now we have to figure out the time, right? How do we find out the time? Because distance is v1, so d1 is v1 into t, like we saw in the upper case. So here again we say d1 is equal to v1 into t1. Now I can't say t because now there are two different timings. We will have different timings. D1, of course, now d1 will be equal to d2, 60 kilometers, but anyways, let's put the value. 60 is equal to 40 into t1. So t1 is 60 by 40, which is 1.5 hours. Similarly, in the other case, d2 is v2 into t2. So simple calculations, of course, I have intentionally taken simple values, into t2. So t2 is 1 hour. So now we can directly put in the formula of v average, and it is total distance is 60 plus 60. So I'm using the same formula, and the timings we have found out t1 plus t2, which is 1.5 plus 1. So we get 120 divided by 2.5. Can we calculate it? I think for easier calculation I can multiply both numerator and denominator by 2. So I get 240 by 5. 240 by 5 is easy to calculate. It is 48 kilometer per hour. So you see, the answer is not 50, is not 50 kilometer per hour, it is 48 kilometer per hour. Now we can actually try to understand this a little better by doing what we did in the previous case, which is we wrote d1 as v1t and d2 as v2t. In this case, let's see what we can do. So v average is total distance, which is d1 plus d2 divided by t1 plus t2. This is the basic formula, right, when you have two intervals. Now in this case, because the distances were equal, so d1 is equal to d2 is equal to d, so I can write d plus d. Now looking at the timings from this and from this, I can say t1 is equal to d1 by v1, and d1 is d, so d by v1, and similarly t2 is d by v2. So you get d by v1 plus d by v2. So this is becoming slightly complex because now in the denominator you have a fraction. So this is 2d, and in the denominator you can take d as a common factor. You get 1 plus v1 plus 1 by v2, and this d you can cancel with d up here. You can further simplify this by taking the LCM in the fraction in the denominator. So the it would be V1 V2, and we get V2 here plus V1 here. The V1 into V2 will go up, so what you really get is 2 V1 V2 upon V1 plus V2. I don't know if you would like to remember another formula, because you can also directly do it by using the basic formula, which is total distance by total time. But if you are interested to remember another formula, you might use it. Let's see if how do we get the same answer by this. We should. So 2 into 40 into 60 divided by 40 plus 60. So 40 into 2 is or rather 6 fours are 24. 24 into 2 is 48. So 48 plus 2 zeros divided by 40 plus 60 is 100. So you get 48. Now what we can conclude is that if you have to find out average speed when you are given two equal time intervals, you can directly find out the average, which is V1 plus V2 by 2. But if you have to find out average speed when you are given two equal distances, right, and two speeds for that, then if you want to use the direct formula, then 2 V1 V2 upon V1 plus V2 is the direct formula to find it. But the approach that I always liked was to use the basic formula, which is total distance divided by total time. Now why I am also suggesting this is, what if you get a question in which you don't have two equal time intervals, you have two time intervals, let's say 40 minutes, 80 minutes. In that case, you won't be able to use any of these simplified formulas that we have seen. The only formula which will always be applicable is total distance divided by total time. The last thing that I would want to just mention is, whenever you get such a question, like we did these two cases, one speed was 40, the other was 60, and in one case the answer was 15, the second case the answer was 48. Our answer was between these two values. So if you're solving such a question and you're getting an answer of, let's say, 5 or 100 or 5000, that is a clear-cut way to see that you are going wrong somewhere, you're doing some wrong calculation or something has gone wrong. So the answer will always lie between the two values, right? But only when you are having two equal time intervals will it be right in the middle. Otherwise it will not be right in the middle, it will be a little lesser or little greater than the mean value. Okay, I think that would be all for this one.